Prom night. That wonderful evening where a boy becomes a man, going up to the front door to meet the parents, having your picture taken together as an official couple, both looking absolutely beautiful, getting a knife hammered through your toe, while your date carves a heart into your chest using a fork. Makes me glad that my school didn't start doing the prom thing until I'd finished. 4 years after I'd finished, actually.
Still need to go? Ones or twos?
When it comes to strange films, Loved Ones is up there with the best of them. Released to huge critical acclaim, it was also a huge commercial flop, but I attest this more to the fact that nobody knew about it. I picked this up for £7 in work in a 2 for 10 sale, and the only reason I picked it up is because a friend of mine said it was dark, wrong, but very funny. And I like the Saw films, so that kind of shows my sense of humour. It's a film that plays firmly off the strength of its star, and no, the star is not the name on the top of the poster. Xavier Samuels, playing the part of Brent, is only listed here because he was in Twilight Eclipse, and they're clearly trying to market the film based off his connection to the series. Smart move, really. But then again, he's not the best of actors. The film does get around this though. Robin McLeavy, playing the part of Lola, totally steals this film. She manages to make Alex Forrest and Peyton Flanders look like pussycats in comparison, and even more impressively, she does it without actually chewing any of the scenery. This is a situation similar to Red Eye, where talking about what you're seeing on screen takes away a great amount of the, in this case, weirdness of the film. Half the film plays out almost like the dinner scene from the original Texas Chainsaw Massacre, but unlike other attempts to homage that scene, this one actually works, and it's almost downplayed, which makes it all the more awkward. Oh yeah, by the way, this video will contain spoilers. Now I realise the intro has already spoiled that for you, and I didn't bother to tell you about spoilers then, so... surprise?
But sex?
Okay, I have a question. Does that mean that my face goes with everything? Or that my face is the face of trolling? Or that my face literally implies butt sex?
Memes don't work that way!
Actually, they kinda do. I mean, Panda started this with his Forget About It series, and now other people are using it too.
You wrote this in the... You asked me to... I'm gonna fucking kill you and Phelan!
Welshy, you're ripping me off now.
No.
Yeah, you are. This is exactly like what happened in my Jeepers Creepers review.
No, it isn't. Kyle isn't here.
Oh, right. So now I guess we can expect Kyle to appear?
I'd like an apology now.
No, I'm not apologizing. You still totally ripped off my idea.
Alright, fine. I ripped you off. Now can I get back to my review? This has already gone on for way too long, and there's no real reason for me to continue it.
Yeah, you're right. See you at Magfest.
Glad I got that out of my system. The film opens with Brent driving with his father next to what looks like the park where they filmed Suburban Nights, in which they bond over car talk and just general things that father and son usually talk about.
Hey, I love this car. You know, you were conceived in the back of this car.
Jesus.
The bonding is interrupted when a heavily scarred and bloody stranger appears from out of nowhere in the middle of the road, who Brent swerves to avoid, but in doing so hits a tree. 6 months later, we learn that the crash killed Brent's father. Brent has become emotionally closed off despite having a girlfriend and refuses to drive a car. And I guess this is symbolised by him having long hair that covers his face. Now me, I also have long hair, but you'll notice it doesn't cover my face. Not because I'm proud of my features or anything, it's because I find it bloody annoying when it gets in my eyes. This is something I do like. He hasn't become a totally closed off arsehole who hates the world and goes out of his way to get on people's nerves. He still has his friends, he's just dealing with the psychological trauma from the crash. If this were a Platinum Doom film, he'd probably have said fuck about 100 times by now. Speaking of friends, his friend Jamie asks Mia, the sexy goth chick at the school, to the prom, which she accepts? Only in the movies. And then we meet our star, Lola. She approaches Brent to ask him if he'll go to the dance with her, but Brent has a girlfriend and turns her down. He then meets up with his girlfriend Holly, and the two get into her car and have frisky car sex while Lola watches. Oh yeah, she crazy. This, if anything, is the only problem I really have with the film. Robin McLeavy is, as far as I'm concerned, just too attractive to make me buy into the idea that she has trouble getting guys' attention. I know she's playing the shy girl in the opening scene, but she looks great, and she looks beautiful in her dress later on, and this is despite the makeup department trying to make her look less attractive. So the fact that she has to have her father abduct guys because they don't fall for her really isn't believable to me. Hell, if she'd been in my school, guys would have been asking her out all over the place. This would have meant I could have enjoyed my 5 years in school as opposed to despising them. She could have lobotomized all the assholes and made my life a living hell, and I would have actually enjoyed myself, as opposed to burning my uniform on the last day. I have issues. Serious issues. Showing some of his emotional struggles, Brent can't bring himself to tell his girlfriend he loves her, but he does tell her Lola asked him to the dance. Good thing he didn't say that when she was trying to persuade him in the car. A lot of what I like about this film is that the audience is allowed to gather information through what we see. Characters don't have to talk and spout needless exposition for us to get what's going on. Through a small, simple scene, we see Brent and his mother are at odds. We get the impression his mother blames him for her husband's death. She doesn't out and out say this, but it's clearly hinted. Brent leaves with the family dog, scales a cliff, and appears to contemplate suicide before coming to his senses and just decides to get high, where he's promptly abducted and his dog gets stabbed. I'm not going to show the dog dying, I'm a dog man, but the dog does die. But maybe Lola is the innocent here, and it's down to her father.
I killed your dog with this.
Oh, fine, they killed the dog. Right, I want them both fucking dead. Meanwhile, Jamie arrives to pick up Mia. Now, I got mixed feelings about this side of the story. Mia is clearly going through some problems, but I can never tell if she really likes Jamie, or she's just simply looking for ways to self-destruct. Certain actions would suggest the latter, but her facial expressions and the way she looks at him would suggest the former. It also confuses me to why, in the kind of fickle environment that is high school, apparently that's where they're supposed to be, no one would have asked her out. And why did she agree to go with Jamie?
You got any more of that pot on you?
Yeah, in my pocket.
Ah, Jamie has drugs. Suddenly the reasoning for her going out with him becomes remarkably clear. While Jamie and Mia get stoned, Lola's father arrives back at his house with Brent and presents his daughter with a dress, which she then proceeds to try on in front of him. Or maybe they're just really close. The father, who we'll call Daddy, determined to give his daughter the night she wished for, has turned the house into a school dance replica. So when Brent awakens, this is the first thing he sees. This sequence right from the off is just plain freaky. We don't know who this woman is, we don't know why there is a hole in her head, or what is wrong with her. And again, like the earlier scenes, we're left to put it together for ourselves, as the characters don't just come out and tell us. To make sure Brent can't scream, or shout, or call for help, Lola fills a syringe full of bleach and then injects it into Brent's voice box.
We can hear you!
Then the happy couple take a picture.
Say happy.
Happy!
One together, and then another with their party guest, who they call Bright Eyes. Lola seems to be in direct competition with Bright Eyes.
Who looks prettier?
Next, Lola attempts to force-feed Brent, who refuses, so her father pulls out the ultimate equalizer. Oh, he's going to hit him with a hammer. How original. With the promise of pain, Brent plays along, so Lola changes tact and demands Brent suck her finger. You know, on first watching this, I was half expecting him to actually bite it off. Lola gets turned on by this, while her father really doesn't seem to like it. At this point, their relationship is officially starting to freak me out. Brent communicates that he needs to use the bathroom, so Lola offers him his own glass. Brent suddenly gets stage fright, so Lola offers an ultimatum.
You've got 10 seconds to go, or Daddy's gonna nail it to the chair.
Think of a dripping tap. Think of a dripping tap. Think of a... I'll be right back.
It's crying.
Girl's seriously fucked up.
I better kiss it better.
Sounds perfectly fair to me. After all, what kind of Australian male would want to avoid a blowjob?
Or maybe I'll bite it off so she can never kiss it again.
Unless that happens, of course. This whole sequence now, and what follows, is what I was alluding to earlier when I compared it to the original Texas Chainsaw Dinner scene. We know nothing about this family, and that's what makes the scene uncomfortable. Lola is clearly insane, and you don't know what she's going to do. She can mount him, slap him, or just flip up and stick her finger in his eye. The long-held shots with no cuts only add to the unease of the scene, but then it does add extra spice when it does go into a quick cut. Seriously, all those Platinum Dunes Rob Zombie remakes could learn a lot from the way this sequence has been filmed in a tutorial on how to create genuine unease and tension. Brent kicks Lola away, manages to free himself, but only gets so far as a tree where Lola and her father take turns trying to knock him out of it. Okay, now I know I said this earlier, but I'd like to remind you all that Lola is absolutely batshit crazy. She does have a wicked arm though, and manages to knock Brent out of the tree, where he's retied up, and then has one of his feet nailed to the floor with a knife, while Lola screams for him to cry. Yeah, I think Lola took that kick kind of personally. And then we get another totally fucked up scene where Lola and her father show Brent Lola's scrapbook, which goes from the drawings and pictures of Lola as a child to all the previous guys she's had abducted.
Duncan Fletcher. He wet himself.
This is a similar sequence to the photo scene from earlier where Robin plays the whole thing like a young girl showing her boyfriend her family photo album and telling stories about the people in them. Only in this case, it's just totally twisted.
He's the one that got away. Timmy Valentine.
And a memory trigger by Brent without words shows he was the guy from the opening sequence who we later learn is actually Mia's brother. And his disappearance is what's caused Mia to spiral into depression. Again, none of this is actually said out loud, just all implied, and I really like that. Fucked up sequence number 3. Okay, let's actually just call this whole thing one fucked up sequence, because from this point on, things just escalate. Lola carves a heart into Brent's chest with a fork, before throwing salt over the wound, and is then crowned the queen of the dance. Shares a dance with Brent while he's still tied to his chair and has the knife through his foot, and then shares a dance with her father and suggests she wants to begin a relationship with him as he's the only man she can call her prince. And now we have officially surpassed the Texas Chainsaw Massacre dinner sequence. Now I know I kind of glossed over all of what's just happened, but Robin's performance during all these sequences is downplayed so beautifully. She plays the whole thing perfectly straight. She's completely into every scene and reacts like nothing unusual is going on. Her happiness at being announced and crowned the queen, with a paper crown I might add, and her proposal to her father are played so perfectly it makes it uncomfortably amusing. With Brent again attempting to free himself, we learn that Lola's exes are actually still alive and are being kept in an underground basement.
Sing for yourself. Not loud enough.
And now we learn why Bright Eyes had a hole in her head and why she seemed completely out of it. I know what's going to happen here. She'll suddenly have an attack of conscience and realise that what she's doing is wrong. Or Brent will escape. That's fucked up, movie. They then boil a kettle and attempt to pour the water into the hole, which would in effect lobotomise Brent and leave him like Bright Eyes earlier. The hole though isn't large enough, so Lola's father tries to widen it. Brent frees himself, stabs Daddy in the neck, knocks Lola out, and then throws Daddy into the basement where the exes eat him. Lola revives, throws Brent into the basement, seals him away, and then kills Bright Eyes.
Good night, Mummy.
So that was her mother. Right, great. Nothing can surprise me about this girl anymore. Now, while all this has been going on, Holly has been waiting at Brent's for any sign that he's okay, and remembering that he told her Lola had asked him to the dance, she informs the local sheriff, who stops by Lola's house. Spotting the carnage inside, he goes inside and discovers the basement door with Brent inside. He doesn't spot Lola. And cradling her scrapbook while holding a knife, she informs Brent what she's going to do.
I'm going to your house now. I'm going to stab your mummy in the neck, just like you did to my daddy. And then I'm going to stab Holly in the heart, just like you did to me.
The exes become aware of Brent, having finished their meal, and advance on him. In a kill or be killed scenario, Brent defends himself with a hammer and kills them, then piles the bodies atop another and scales them to climb out of the basement before taking the sheriff's car and flooring it to catch Lola. Lola, meanwhile, walks calmly down the road. I don't know why, but this is just another sequence that's just uncomfortably amusing. Maybe it's how casually she's walking and singing despite being covered in blood and having just murdered a man. I honestly don't know, and I should hate myself for smiling at it, but it's played in such a way that I don't feel guilty for smiling. It has a touch of the Evil Dead in how surreal it is. Spotting Holly's car coming over the hill, she hides away and uses her scrapbook to cause Holly to stop.
Here's Johnny!
Fueled only with the need to kill, Lola launches at Holly, who manages to fall out of the driver's door and runs up the hill in the middle of the road, with Brent coming over the other side in his police car. And for those of you out there who logged off as soon as you saw the end credits, you don't get to see the real ending, which means I might be talking to nobody right now. 6 months in, I'm already repeating myself. That is not a good sign. All I need now is to introduce an alternate personality, and then I know I've hit rock bottom. Holly comforts Brent, but Lola, give the girl credit, seems to be powered by the WWE bookers because she's like Super Cena and just won't stay down. Okay, she can't get up either, but she's nothing if not determined. Remembering the guys in the basement and everything that's happened, Brent throws the car into reverse, which finally kills Lola. And even though it was inevitable she was going to die in this film, I'm actually sad it happened. And that's Loved Ones. It's a deeply disturbing movie that manages to walk that fine line of making uncomfortable scenes oddly amusing. Even now, watching back, I still find myself uncomfortably laughing at the straightness that Robin plays most of these sequences in the house. Yep, there are some really horrendous things that happen in the movie, but due to its budget, we don't see them. It's all implied or hidden from the camera, and this makes it so much more effective. It's brisk, won't change your life, but you'll certainly be hooked once you start watching it. And Robin McLeavy creates a character that has to be seen to be believed, managing to be funny, sweet, deranged, murderous, and just downright insane all at the same time. Hey guys, before I officially close off the video, I'd like to talk about something serious for a moment. For those of you out there who watch the Sad Panda series, forget about it, which admittedly is not that much, you'll know that I have become an official internet meme. Or at least my face has. So I'm starting this new enterprise, Welshy masks. They come in one size fits all. Official asking price for the mask at the moment is £50, which is about $75. However, if you want to upgrade to £100, I'll even sign the mask when I send it. But if you want to pay £150 for it, you get the mask, my signature, and I'll even upgrade your TVs to HDD TV. All you need to do is click that link in the top hand corner. Don't delay, become Welshy today.
No, I'm not apologizing. You still totally ripped off my idea. How could this happen to me?
What do you know of the weeping angels?
The angel is gonna come.
Stone angel amongst stone statues.
Needle in a haystack.
We're all in terrible danger.
Don't take your eyes off the angel. Don't even blink.
Doctor!